Welcome. I'm Carlisle Levine. I'm here with my colleague Hippolyt. We are co-leads of the Strengthening Evaluation Contracting Partnerships Initiative, and we're here as part of our gathering space, which brings evaluators together who want to learn how to be better partners within an evaluation team and who want to get to know more evaluators. Today, we're talking about collaborative leadership or having a leaderful team and what benefit that can bring to our practice. We'll talk a bit about our experiences, how we structure this, and how we implement collaborative leadership. So collaborative leadership is approaching leadership in a collective way. It's bringing together everyone's expertise for all big decisions. It requires transparency and communication throughout a team. The transparency, we hope, fosters openness and trust and comfort in sharing information and ideas and perspectives. We hope as benefits that there's shared responsibility. Of course, there's still a coordinator, but it means that different members of the team will be leading on different things, which is great. It will also bring in, as we put all of our heads together, better ideas and decisions, greater innovation. I like collaborative leadership because it recognizes and elevates the expertise that each team member brings to an assignment. And from an evaluation commissioner perspective, if those partnerships with evaluation commissioners are based on relationships, then collaborative leadership gives an evaluation commissioner the opportunity to see the expertise, the approaches of each team member, which then strengthens each team member for future assignments. Hippolyt, you also had some ideas about why this is a great.
Yeah, sure. Carla, despite all the advantages of that we bring to the evaluation space, we've heard evaluation commissioners say they are concerned that our small firms, we don't have the structure or the capacity to deliver services as well as the big firms would. But our experience has been that we do have the capacity using our collaborative leadership approaches. We have been able and can always demonstrate that we can deliver. We have the structures in place, we have capacities in place, and we do use different ways of coordinating our work to make sure that we build quality assurance into what we deliver. You know, and we have a strong commitment, probably motivation to keep together and to share because we have a shared responsibility to do this and demonstrate our worth in the evaluation space. So this is what really keeps us motivated and we are able to deliver over time. Caroline?
Yes, I just want to echo that commissioners can be worried, like absent a top-down kind of structure or command and control leadership structure. How can they be assured that we're going to work together well? Whenever we interview for a project, we are asked that question. How do we know that you'll work together well? And that's where our investment in getting to know each other is super important. They also want to have assurance that we'll deliver quality, timely products in spite of anything else that might happen within the team. And Hippolyt, you kind of touched on what we put in place to make sure that will happen. I wonder, Hippolyt, would you provide an example from your experience?
Yeah, sure, Caroline. My institute, the Institute for Peace and Development, are participating in a consortium that brings together small solo firms from 3 continents. And in fact, we are doing an assignment for the International Development Research Center that commissioned 5 evaluations at the same time. Ours is the only team that is made of small solo firms from across 3 continents. Brings together 3 firms, one in Indonesia, one in Africa, that is me, and the other one in Latin America. You know, we are pulling together expertise from different places. So we are able to deliver the services across these geographies that because we are based there and we know the connections, we have the access. We have built together a memorandum of understanding that binds us, right from the very beginning of what is our roles, what is our responsibilities, and what needs to be done. And these are all tied to the remuneration packages that we have designed for ourselves. In addition to geographical leadership, we also have thematic leaders. So I, for instance, am based in Ghana. I'm responsible for not just the Africa team, but also responsible for the ensuring that the evaluation question one, and data collection and so forth in Africa and across the team works out well. We are able to coordinate ourselves very well because we have a bi-weekly meeting arrangement in place where we meet to discuss issues that are arising when we need it. Otherwise, we use we use emails and WhatsApps daily to communicate between teams and across teams. Our central coordinating unit for this is the Dala Institute, which is a project holder based in Indonesia. But is able to keep in touch regularly with all members of the team to make sure that we are delivering, and we have communication points that you can go to for communications, and we post documents on SharePoint, Google Drive, and so on, so everybody can access that. So we are working real time, and it's very interesting to see that somebody is working at the end of the day at that end, you are working at the middle of the night, and somebody else very early in the morning, and we're able to do that. Thank you, Carlisle.
I want to just share a Nancy team experience, which is similar. So, Hippolyt, you and I are both part of this evaluation collaborative, which we've named Nancy. And we gave it a shared name, which is for all of us. The Anansi team, it's composed of different people depending on the commissioner's needs. So we bring together teams that have the geographic, thematic expertise that respond to a commissioner's project. I believe that the commissioners like working with us because what they see is they have direct access to people with either lived experience of being in particular geographies or with specific issue area expertise. And they know that those people are going to be the leaders when it comes to the project work on those areas, either geography or issue area. I enjoy it because I know that when we're working on something, for example, Hippolyt, that you're the expert on, that you're going to lead on that, and I'm following you. I'll bring in my ideas, but you'll be providing the expertise on that part of the project. Whereas, let's say there's something that I'm an expert on, and then I'm the leader for that, and you're following. So we're each having these leading and following roles that are kind of fluid within the team based on our expertise. I also really appreciate that whenever there's a big decision to make, maybe I bring it to the group and say, hey, this is how I think maybe we should approach this. And then everyone brings in their own ideas. And at the end of the discussion, what we have is a better idea because we've all brought in our ideas to this decision. And I think that's a real strength of collaborative leadership. There can be some challenges. So sometimes there might be moments, and this could happen on any team, when someone isn't able to fulfill their responsibilities. Let's say that there's an illness. And so we fill in for each other. And so that's one of our principles of how we work together, is that we care about each other. We know that we're full human beings. And we are there to support each other when for some reason someone isn't able to do what they need to do on time. It can be a little bit more challenging when someone's not doing what they're supposed to be doing and there's an unreasonable reason. And that's where our MOU is so important. And it's not that one person makes a decision about how to move forward in that moment, but rather that we all come together and talk about, well, what is it going to take to make sure that we can deliver on this assignment? And then also that we want to remain in right relations with each other. There's some other lessons we've learned in this process. Hippolyt, I wonder if you would share some and then I'll share a few.
Yeah, sure. I have a couple to share. For instance, one of the things that is often used against small solo firms is that we are so small and unable to coordinate communications very quickly. But we think that the advent of telecommunication facilities, has blurred that distinction between small solo firms and the big firms. After all, the big firms, most of them are also telecommuting now, or working remotely. So we use that technology, we harness that technology effectively, to make sure that we're keeping our teams moving and working together, using Google Drives, using the online platforms like Zoom, and so forth to keep our teams together and working. So that communication disadvantage no longer exists for us as small solo firms. Roles and responsibilities I've already mentioned before are so clearly defined in the MOUs that we have, and we have the expectations all defined. And these are all tied to the remuneration packages that we have for team members. So everybody understands what they are doing. And I talked about the fact that in addition to thematic leadership, we have geographical leadership. So I sit in Ghana, but I coordinate teams in Kenya, Senegal, and elsewhere to do the work for the Africa team that links into the global effort that we have, to this. When it comes to report writing, We recognize the expertise that each member has. So, for instance, I lead on evaluation question one, that is looking at the relevance and coherence and so forth of the programs that we're doing. Somebody else is looking at something else. You know, the MOU, well, we can't emphasize this enough. The MOU is central to what we do. It keeps us all together, spells out the roles and responsibilities, the deliverables that each person has, and that becomes the bond that holds us together and make sure that we're all working in sync and in unison and to deliver on our commitment, our joint commitments. Carlisle?
Sure. Something I would like to add is that was something that's true about all the team members. On the one hand, we're all committed to producing timely quality products that meet the client's needs, and we're all committed to each other's success. And with those two commitments, we're really set up well for our overall success. I just want to highlight the importance of regular communications, that we need to make sure as a collaborative leadership structured team that everyone is always aware of everything that's going on within a project. And so we have regular team meetings, whether it's weekly or bi-weekly, so that everyone knows what's happening. We keep all of our materials, as you said, Hippolyt, in a shared folder. Everyone has access to everything, including the budget. Another thing that's important is if our collaborative leadership team spans different cultures, we really need to be sensitive to those cultural differences, particularly as we're trying to make important decisions in a project. And so we do need to pay attention to where people are coming from, how we present in different ways, how things affect us in different ways. And we need to take the time to build that understanding and also to pay attention to when things come up. And finally, the importance of contingency planning. If someone is unable to fulfill their responsibilities in a particular time frame for whatever reason, we need to have a plan in place so that we can cover for each other. I think those are the points we want to share at this point. We will be coming out with a blog that shares all of this and more. But we hope that this is enough to spark some reflection and some conversation for you, our listeners, about how you might use collaborative leadership as a structure for leading your evaluation teams. Thanks for joining us.